All right, we're doing a KSP engine tier list. I'm pretty sure I'm doing all the stock engines, but this is going off the ones on Xbox, so it might be inaccurate to PC. I don't know why I did, whatever. We have four main classifications. We have jet engines, we have an Ascent base class or like heavier rocketry for atmospheric flights, and then we have the vacuum based engines, so use them in vacuums or, lower gravity places. And then we have the solid fuel booster class. So we're gonna be ranking them based on strength and feasibility, like ease of use. But we're gonna start with the jet engine class. Starting with the Juno, it has 20 kilonewtons of thrust. Honestly, this is the jet engine I don't really ever use unless I make like a super tiny jet. It's not that strong. It's efficient, I guess. I mean, all the jet engines are efficient, but you don't really use this for like actual missions. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, I don't know. It's really small, so you only use it on super tiny craft, and even with that, like, when are you gonna launch a super tiny craft off of like Kerbin? Like you make a super tiny SSTO, then I guess. Other than that, I don't really use it. High key, I never use this. I think it's like a D. Like it's just you don't use it. I don't know. I just don't use it. Next, we got the Rapier, a classic engine. It has 162 kilonewtons of thrust. Honestly, the Rapier is like the GOAT of SSTOs. Like every SSTO almost always uses the Rapier because it's high power and it's pretty efficient in vacuums. Like I'd say for like a jet engine, it's pretty good. Because it does work in vacuums. So does the other two we're talking about later. But it's like the best SSTO engine. Like if you make an SSTO, you're probably gonna be using a Rapier. So honestly, it's pretty powerful. I'd say it's pretty efficient as well. I'm gonna say A tier. I think it's an A tier. I think A tier is fair for the Rapier. It's pretty good. All right, next we have the Weasley, 120 kilonewtons of thrust. It's kind of like the Juno's big brother. This engine's big brother. The small one. I mean, I don't really use it all that much either. Like, I don't really make planes, but when I do, I don't use the Weasley. It's not bad. It's an engine. Like a lot of. It's definitely an engine. It's pretty efficient though, and it has some good thrust. I'd say it's not bad. I'd say it's a C tier. Like, and it's a 1.25 meter diameter, so like I actually use it on normal like smaller aircraft. It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, next is the Panther, 130 kilonewtons of thrust, a little stronger than the Weasley, same size, but I think it has better vectoring, and also it's like an actual like jet engine. Because I believe you can also kind of do what the Rapier does and use it in a vacuum, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's powerful. It's efficient. It's not terrible. I'll put it in B tier. It's like a mid-tier jet engine. And then the Whiplash is pretty similar. It has the same amount of kilonewtons of thrust. Honestly, when I make jets or planes, like the Panther and Whiplash, I see them as like almost the same. So I just put one of them on. Whichever one looks cooler. So I'm just going to put them in B. I think that's fair. And the last jet engine, the last one in this class, is the Goliath engine. A very big engine, very powerful, also very efficient, weirdly enough. And it has its own intake, so you don't need to add an intake to the craft. It's honestly quite a good like jet engine, especially for large craft. I would say it's also a B tier because it doesn't have, any like, you don't use it in atmospheres. I don't think it's fair to have it be like with the Rapier because the Rapier is like the GOAT. Next, we're going to go into, I kind of classify them as like atmospheric takeoffs or like, more heavy duty. So like you'd use these like taking off of like maybe like Eve, like places with atmospheres or just high gravity like Tylo. I would use these or just the takeoff of Kerbin. So that's like the main classification for these. I'm going to call them the Ascent class, Starting with the smallest one, the Cub. 33 kilonewtons of thrust. It's not bad. It's actually decently efficient in vacuums as well. I've used this a few times, mainly for Duna missions. I like it for because when I go to Duna, I like to have a rover that can also just like fly, and I'll use the Cubs on the rover to take off of Duna. So it's like a whole, like, basically like an SSTO around Duna, like rover kind of thing. I think they're cool. I don't use them very often, but they're not bad. They get the job done. I say they're a C tier. Okay, next is the dart, you know, or the aerospike, whatever we want to call it. Honestly, the dart has it has 180 kilonewtons of thrust. It is a very powerful engine for its size, and on top of that, it is very efficient in vacuums as well. Like, this is the kind of engine I would use to go to like Lathe, and then like land on Lathe and then go back to orbit using just a single stage. I would use the dart. I like the dart a lot. I usually use it for more powered landings with places with atmospheres. It does really well in an atmosphere, and it's super powerful. Honestly, it's a goat. It's the goat of engines. Like, in my opinion, I think it's A, maybe even S, but I think S might be pushing it. I think it's an A tier. I think A is fitting for them, but they're not the best. You know, like, they're good. They're not the best. Next is the Thud. It has 108 kilonewtons of thrust. It's basically the Cub's older brother, because also side mounted, like the Cub, but way more powerful, but also more bulky. It's very bulky, but it does have it has vectoring, it has thrust vectoring, so it can turn and stuff, and it's very good for like control. So it's like a mid-class size. So I'd say it's good for like Duna landings, or if you could use it on Tylo. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. The vectoring's pretty good. I'll put it in, I think, B. It's like a mid-tier. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, next is the Swivel, the goat of early game science and career modes. Honestly, I use it a lot. This is one of my more used engines, is the Swivel. It's powerful in atmospheres. It's pretty decent in vacuums. It has vectoring. Honestly, it's an all-around pretty good booster, I'd say. It's fairly light, and it packs a punch, especially in early science, early career mode. It's also pretty cheap. Honestly, you can use this just for, you know, Kerbin takeoffs for lighter rockets. You can use it for landings, for like heavier places, like, you know, if you want to go to Duna or Dres, Moho, whatever. Honestly, and most places you can use a lander with a swivel, and it'll do you pretty well. I wouldn't take it to Eve. It's not that powerful, but I'd say it's pretty good. I use it a lot. So I don't know if it's A though. Like, it's good, but it's not like crazy good. I think it's like upper B. Upper B. Yeah, upper B or low A, but I'm gonna put it upper B because I don't want to oversaturate the A tier with stuff, you know? The Reliant, I didn't say like, okay, so the Swivel has 165 kilonewtons, and then the Reliant has 205, so it's more powerful, but honestly, I never use it at all. It's like a worse version of the Swivel. I'm pretty sure it's heavier. Around the efficiency is maybe a little less, but the same. But it just doesn't have any swivel. It doesn't have any vectoring. So if you use it in a vacuum, you need to rely on SAS wheels, and I kind of don't like that. It's kind of just it's outshined by his brother, the Swivel. I mean, it's not a bad engine. Like, I wouldn't. It's not good. It's not good. I think C tier. It's just all right. It's just, I mean, how often do you use the Reliant? All right, next one. The infamous Demon, the Vector. I mean, for its size, it is very powerful. At 936 kilonewtons in atmosphere. This thing, I mean, come on. It's almost, it's like 7 times more powerful than the Swivel for the same size. This thing is ridiculously powerful. You can get an insanely large rocket lifted up by a few of these things, and it's just astounding. Like, when I go to Eve, I usually use the Vector. It's very powerful. Honestly, it's probably one of the best engines in the game, if not the best. I mean, it's a miracle worker, and I mean, obviously it's S tier. I think anybody would put it in S tier. I mean, there's no downsides to it. Next is the Kodiak. It's a 4-chambered engine. It looks kind of goofy. 208 kilonewtons, so it's about the same as the Reliant. But honestly, it's pretty big and clunky. And I don't think it has good vectoring either. High key, I don't really ever use the Kodiak. And when I do, I'm trying to be different. Or it just matches the vibe of something. But it's not really that good. Honestly, I never use it. It's kind of just outshined by literally anything else in its size class. Even stuff smaller than it gets outshined by the Swivel and the Reliant, and those are smaller. I think it's D tier. Like, I don't, you shouldn't be using the Kodiak. I don't think. I mean, it's just like, why? Why would you use the Kodiak? Just use anything else. Okay, next is the Bobcat. It's around the same size as the Kodiak, but it has 374 kilonewtons of thrust. I'd say it's much more powerful. It's a 2-chamber, so it's definitely more unique in that sense. I think it's a cool little engine. Its size is convenient. Like, it's not as big as the Skipper, but it's just as big as like the Kodiak. It's like a 1.875 meter. So if you're that weird size where you want an engine that's powerful, Bobcat's there. I use it a decent amount for like mid stages and stuff. It's powerful. It's also decent in vacuums. All around, it's not a bad engine. I think it's like a C or a B. I use it more than the Reliant. It's going to go B tier. Next is the Skipper. The Skipper has 568 kilonewtons of thrust, so it's pretty good overall. I'd say it's efficient, it's decently powerful, and it's also good in like the vacuum. Like, it's not terrible in a vacuum either. It's still pretty efficient. It keeps most of its like delta V efficiency and I use it a lot. I think it's better for mid stages, but it's good for lower stages, for lighter rockets, and also all around. It's just like, it's not bad. Like, if you have a heavy craft in low Kerbin orbit, and you can use the Skipper to get at least good efficiency and good thrust. I'd say overall it's a pretty good pretty good engine. I use it all the time. Honestly, it's goated. I think it's pretty good. And the next is the mainsail, the big boy. 1,379 kilonewtons of thrust. Pretty insane. It's pretty powerful. Like, for the 2.5 meter sizes, I use this all the time. All the time. It, like, most of my craft will have a mainsail on the bottom. Like, I mean, in the name, it's the mainsail. It's the main guy, you know? Overall, it's a well-rounded, very good engine. I use it all the time. I think it deserves A tier. I mean, same with the Skipper. You know, I use these two together. I'll use the mainsail as a bottom stage, Skipper as like a mid stage, and then I'll probably use, depending on what it is, either a dart or something else for the stages above it. It depends on what the mission is. But, you know, it's a really good engine. Next is the Mastodon. 1,303 kilonewtons of thrust. Not bad. A little less than the mainsail, but around the same size. Honestly, I don't really use it though because it's kind of ugly looking. But overall, it's a pretty good ascent stage. It's powerful. I'm pretty sure it has vectoring. It's just kind of outshined by other stuff. It's just kind of there. It's one of the engines where it's just kind of there. Like, I don't really use it much. So I think C tier. Like, it's not terrible. Like, if you want to use it, use it. It's not bad. Like, it gets the job done. Next is the Rhino. Big boy. The Rhino has 1,205 kilonewtons of thrust in atmosphere, but actually has 2,000 kilonewtons of thrust in a vacuum. So even though it's powerful at the bottom stage, it's even more powerful in space by a long shot, and it's also very efficient in space. So if you have a very big craft in orbit that you like want to get moved at a good pace, you know, you're not trying to use 18 nuclear engines to move it around, I would use the Rhino. It's very good in vacuums. It's very good for takeoffs as well, because, you know, it's larger than the mainsail and it has more thrust to weight ratio than that as well. Overall, it's a well-rounded, very strong engine. I think it's A, but I'm gonna move the Skipper to B. I think that's, yeah, I like that more, because the Skipper's good, but it's more of a mid stage. These are more, yeah, you get the point. That's what I'm just gonna move those. Okay, the last engine in the Ascent class, the Mammoth, the big boy. With 3,746 kilonewtons of thrust, it is very powerful. Standalone, it is the most powerful engine in the game, but it's pretty much just 4 vectors tied on the bottom, and the kilonewtons kind of back that up because a vector pretty much has almost 1,000. So it's just 4 vectors on the bottom of an engine. It's powerful, very good. If you want to put it on the bottom of a very big rocket, it'll lift it for the most part. Most of the time, it'll lift your rocket up. It's super strong. It's good in atmosphere. I wouldn't really use it beyond your ascent stage, because after that, it's kind of like, what are we doing? But that's all it's good for. It has one use. So it's a one-trick pony. It is meant to just be a bottom stage, and it's very good at its job. Don't get me wrong, it's the best in its category, but it's not the best. You know what I mean? It's not the best. I think B tier. Okay, now we're on to class 3, the vacuum engine class. These are more efficient, lower thrust engines. So you'd use these for landings like on the Mun, on Moho, or Drez, places without atmospheres. You'd use these for the most part, or just interplanetary transfers. And some of them you could use like on Duna, but after Duna, you don't really want to use these. Starting with the Ant, the smallest engine in the game, 2 kilonewtons of thrust. Very small, pretty weak. It has decent efficiency, but honestly, it's actually less efficient than some engines larger than it. It's not that good. It's really not that good. If you want an engine that's efficient for its size, I would just go for the Spark. It's not good. It's very tiny though, and it's funny. So I think, but other than that, I mean, it's not really amazing. I think it's C tier. I would still use it over the Juno and the Kodiak, but you only use this for very tiny probes. But even at that, there's just better options. For example, the Spider, also 2 kilonewtons of thrust, but I believe it's a little more efficient, and also it's radially mounted, so it just looks cleaner in my opinion. I like it more than the Ant, but they're pretty much the same. They're about the same size. I use it a little bit. I think the Ant's actually going to be D. I don't ever really use the Ant. Spider's a little bit better, but also it suffers the same issue where it's super weak. Next is the Twitch. It's basically the Spider's older brother with 16 kilonewtons of thrust, also side mounted. I use these mainly for like a Mun rover. I'll have these on the sides and then I'll like detach them like right before I land, and like it'll just go flying away. That's pretty much all I use them for. They're not bad. They're a stronger version of the Spider, so that's good. But I think they're also going to be like a C tier. Next is the Dawn, aka the Ion engine. Only one in the game, base game at least. The most efficient engine in the game. Insanely efficient, but also insanely slow. This thing, you can load up a... What's it called? You can load up a probe with this thing on it and have 8,000 meters a second. It can get you anywhere. Anywhere you have enough time for, this will get you there. It's probably the king of vacuum for like long distance travel. Also, it's the only ion engine, so it's very unique when it comes to using xenon gas and electricity. So I think it's either A or S, but to be honest though, I don't really use probes. But I think it's going to be A. I think A is fair. Low key, I don't like waiting 10 hours for a burn, so it's going to go A tier. It's not bad. Next is the Spark. A very tiny, normal, like liquid fuel engine. It has 20 kilonewtons of thrust. Not bad. More powerful than the Twitch. Very small. I usually use this like for Minmus missions because I have really small landers on Minmus. You don't really need something big. It's not bad. It's gonna be B tier. It's efficient in vacuums, but it's pretty powerful as well for its size. It packs a little punch. It's pretty good. Next is the Puff. This is the only monopropellant engine I have in the list, mainly because it's the only one that's like an actual decent size. It also has 20 kilonewtons of thrust, and it's very unique how it uses monopropellant as fuel instead of liquid fuel and oxidizer. But it's kind of weird, and also it's not as efficient as a lot of these are. And it's like, why would you use the Puff when you could use literally any other engine in the game? Because why are you using monopropellant as fuel? That's weird. Unless you're using it as like, I guess, if you want to dock something and it's really big, you can use this as like the monopropellant engines on there to control it. But at that point, what are we doing, bro? Just use just use Spark or something. It's just a worse version of the Spark, I think, or the Twitch. It's gonna go B tier or D tier. I think D tier. I don't ever like. Why would you? Why? Just why? Next is the Terrier, 60 kilonewtons of thrust. Honestly, for its size class, it's really efficient, pretty powerful. Like, it has really good thrust to weight ratio for crafts. I use this engine all the time for either like, transfer burns or Mun landings. It's more of like a. This is like more of the upper class for like Mun landers. Like I always use this to go to the Mun and land stuff on the Mun. It's pretty efficient. It's pretty good. I love this thing. I usually use this overall. It's pretty good. I love the Terrier. I love this thing. I think A tier is fair. The Nerve engine. 60 kilonewtons of thrust, same as the Terrier actually, but way more efficient. It's kind of like, I mean, it's nuclear, so it only uses liquid fuel, so it's easier to pack fuel for it. It has crazy delta V, but it's super slow, but not so slow like the Ion where you wait, you have like 30-minute burns, you know what I mean? Like you can use the Nerve at a higher scale than the Ion as well. It's very, very good for going out towards like Jewel or Elu. It's very good for those kind of places where you want a lot of fuel, but you want to have reasonable burn times. It also recharges your batteries. So, only uses liquid fuel to burn. Honestly, one of my favorite engines for interplanetary transfers and going to Jewel and stuff. I would say the Nerve is S tier. Or Kerbal approved. It's Kerbal approved. Next is the Cheetah. 125 kilonewtons of thrust. A mid-sized engine. Honestly, it's more powerful than a lot of the other ones in this tier. It's kind of like more of a mid-stage, but it has higher efficiency in vacuums than it does in atmosphere. So I included it with this tier. If you want a powerful upper stage, like, leaving Kerbin or just a decently strong, like, vacuum engine, this is your guy. Decently efficient, decently powerful. Not really the best in anything, but also not the worst. I think it also has vectoring. And honestly, it's in that weird 1.85, like 1.875 meter diameter. So if you're building a rocket with that diameter, this guy is clutch for that. I don't use it too much, but it's pretty good. Like I think it's like the epitome of B tier. It's just all around all right. All right, next. Ooh, the Wolfhound. It has 375 kilonewtons of thrust. Personally, I love the Wolfhound. It is one of, if not my favorite engine in the game. This thing is ridiculous. So you can have a rocket that's decently heavy, and then you just slap on a few fuel tanks and then a Wolfhound, and it'll somehow push. You'll have like 4,000 meters a second and have a reasonable like thrust to weight ratio. It is powerful for its size, super efficient. Also, it looks good. I love this thing. I love the Wolfhound. Honestly, ever since I got the DLCs, I use this all the time. Every rocket, I'll have a Wolfhound, without a doubt. I always use a Wolfhound, especially for like my upper, like once I'm in Kerbin's like low orbit, I'll use it for interplanetary transfers, or maybe returning to Kerbin after missions. Super efficient, super goated, super powerful. It's my favorite engine in the game. I mean, where would I be without this thing? I love the Wolfhound. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the glaze. All right, next one is the Poodle. 250 kilonewtons. I used this a lot before the Wolfhound came out, or before I like discovered the Wolfhound. It's basically the Wolfhound's weaker brother. It's very good in vacuums, obviously. All of these, this whole category is. But it has decent thrust to weight, and it's decently efficient, but it's not amazing. But I still use it sometimes. It's a good like transfer stage, I guess, like between planets and stuff. Nothing crazy. I'd say it's like the epitome of B tier as well. It's not bad. And then for our last engine in the vacuum class, the largest by radius, I'm pretty sure, is the Skiff. What do I even say about this thing? I mean, I don't really use it. Like it's pretty big for a vacuum engine. It's meh. It's stronger than the Poodle, but not much stronger, but much larger and more clunky. I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's a C tier. It's just there. That's all I can say about it. And the final class, the solid fuel engines. This is more of like a bonus class. Like these, I mean, they're powerful. You usually use these on bottom stages or as side-mounted boosters, and that's pretty much it. They're very specific uses, but I'm still gonna rank them real quick, just for shits and giggles. Sepratron, 14 kilonewtons of thrust. I'm pretty sure for its size, it's the most powerful engine, like, for its weight. Because, it's supposed to separate stages. I also use this a decent bit. It's pretty useful. I think it's like a B tier. I think B tier is fair. Like, it's also funny. It's just like, haha, funny little engine, but super strong. The Might engine, 11 kilonewtons of thrust. Somehow weaker than the Sepratron. Loki, I never used the might. I've always looked over it because it's such a weird size. Like it's entirely useless. I think it's just D tier. The flea, 162 kilonewtons. Oh god, this thing. I went to Mimus with the flea. Honestly, pretty powerful for its size. It's not bad. I think it's also B tier. The hammer, 197 kilonewtons of thrust. A little more powerful than the flea. Basically just a flea with an extra solid fuel tank on top. Well, I mean, what do you say about the hammer? It's just there. C tier. And then the shrimp, basically an even taller version of the hammer and flea. It has 197 kilonewtons of thrust. Pretty powerful. It's not bad for like a side booster. You know, like put it on the side of rockets and then, you know, like jettisoning them off the launch pad. I think it's a B tier. Next is the Thumper. Thumper is a pretty powerful solid fuel booster. 250 kilonewtons of thrust. I actually use this a decent bit for medium-sized rockets when a little punch off the launch pad. Once again, I think it's a B tier. Like it's not bad. Next is the Twin Bore. 1,866 kilonewtons of thrust. Honestly, I think you can. Why? Wait, this isn't a solid fuel booster. This is like a normal. Well, whatever. It's still in this category. I'm pretty sure you can turn it on and off. It's very unique in that sense. It's very powerful. Not bad in vacuums. What do I even say about this thing? I don't know. It's pretty good. I think it's an A tier. It's very cool for a solid fuel booster. It has 2 engines. You can throttle it like on and off. It's very unique. The Thoroughbred, it's another solid fuel booster. It's pretty powerful. Has 1,515 kilonewtons of thrust. Pretty powerful, packs a punch. I think B tier. The Pollux is like a weaker version of the Thoroughbred. I mean, C tier. You don't really use it much. And then the Clydesdale, the largest solid fuel booster. Pretty powerful. I only use it on the most ridiculously large rockets. So it has 2,948 kilonewtons of thrust. It packs a crazy punch. I'm gonna do A tier because it's very powerful. But other than that, that's it. Yeah, that's my list. You know what? The flea is also S tier. But yeah, there's my list. That's my official list. Boom. Actually, the flea's better than the Wolfhound. All right, there we go. Boom shakalaka. Thanks for watching. Yeah.